Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are listening to this little video on this glorious 3rd of June. It's a full moon in Sagittarius. It's the strawberry moon, and we are being invited to point our bow and arrow and see where the adventure takes us. So I've just thought I'd take a little moment. I'm sat out here with all of my beautiful crystals. Oh, who is this woman that I have become? I love her. I love her a lot. Anyway, I just wanted to invite you on a bit of an adventure. Are you tracking your cycle? Because if you aren't, whether you are premenopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, whether you've just started bleeding, whether you haven't bled for 5 or 6 years, then this full moon is a beautiful opportunity, an invitation to start tracking your energy. So often when we are tracking our menstrual cycle, when I talk to people who are tracking their menstrual cycle, they're just focusing on the bleed and they're missing all of those beautiful nuances in between, how our energy shifts. So we have this real winter energy during the bleed phase. It's much more insular. We want to come in. It's very quiet. It's very alchemical. It's very transformational. And then as we come out of the bleed, we move into this spring energy, this sort of warrioress, much more vitality. Things are growing. If you're still bleeding, that estrogen's rising. There's power and energy coming. And then we move into this full moon energy, which is very sort of summer, and we get that high summer, like the ovulation, where we're just surrounded, we're calling in the birds and the bees. We are feeling magnetic and magnificent. We are in love with life itself. Towards the end of summer, we move into a much softer energy, more of the mother energy. But remember, the mother as well, when she's balanced, she has a huge role to play. She's a place of safety, of solace, of getting the best out of others. She's a brilliant energy to be holding for appraisals, for difficult conversations. And then as we move towards the new moon again, we move into this much more autumnal energy where we're releasing and letting go, when we become very discerning and we want order and structure and tidying things up. And if you think about it as a gardener, if you're somebody that loves gardening, autumn's that time of the year when the trees are letting the leaves go, when if you're gardening, you're tidying things up and getting things tidy for winter. And so we cycle round again. But one of the things I wanted to share with you is I noticed that for many people, when they start tracking their cycle, like everything in life, they want the perfect cycle. If they're not menstruating on the new moon, is there something wrong with them? If their cycle doesn't align perfectly, then there must be something wrong with them. And one of the, I've always known it's about understanding our unique bio-individuality, but one of the things I've been learning at Red School as I've gone on to a deep dive into menstruality leadership is they call it the Big Red Rule. And the Big Red Rule is just quite simply, is your menstrual cycle And I know for many, they find it really hard. They're like, well, I just can't align with this moon cycling. It doesn't make sense to me. So my invitation is to track your energies with the moon for at least 2 or 3 months, because maybe, just maybe, you're cycling with the full moon, which is where I'm at. And that's called a red moon cycle. So even though I don't have a bleed anymore and haven't had a bleed for 4 years, the more I've dropped into this work through the One of Many and the calling coaching, through Dance into Your Power, through really connecting into tracking my energies, how I feel at different times of the month, I've really come to notice that I am much more in my winter when we're in full moon. So this week I felt quite autumnal. I've been, sort of quite pulled away a little bit. I've wanted order, I've wanted structure, I've been tidying, I've been cleaning, I've been putting things in place. My energy's really, really, really dropped. And then, because I've allowed myself to rest, I'm feeling quite calm. But, I've not got a lot on over the next couple of days, which suits me perfectly. And that's going to allow my energy to revitalize and to renew. creating vision. It's my birthday on Tuesday, so I'm really looking for, you know, doing some visionary work and getting some clarity. So maybe, just maybe, if you're not feeling aligned with or connected into your moon cycling or tracking your energies, maybe it's because you've been trying to make your round peg fit into a square hole. So how about if you just step back from finding the perfect cycle and, more importantly, honor your unique cycle? Track your energies, track your sociability, track what you feel like you want to be doing. You know, are you craving order and systems? Are you wanting to, you know, match all the socks and put all the Tupperware lids on the Tupperware and do food prep and, you know, sort of resisting going out? Because the one thing you should never do is when you're in that full moon energy or in that summer energy, whenever it comes for you, don't let that energy be in charge of your diary, because she is going to say yes to everything, and then when it comes around to your autumn or winter, you're going to be like, I'm not feeling that. So I now, in my diary, around the time of the full moon, I mark out, you know, rest, recuperation, surrender, you know, separation. I need to step away, I need to regather my energy. So I know when I'm booking appointments to keep them, you know, not to overdo myself in that time. But when I'm in my spring and summer, I'm like, yes, bring it on, as many people as I possibly can manage, knowing that I still also need some rest. So that's my invitation on this glorious full moon day. An invitation, if you're finding that at some times of the month you feel like you're go, and at other times of the month you're like literally dragging your knuckles, you don't want to be around everybody, and you're thinking, well, why, what's wrong with me? Let me tell you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Maybe you just need to get more in tune with your cyclical nature, and then from there start to understand, feel empowered, make your plans, organize your life around that, and then see just how much ease and grace there is, and more importantly, how much magic and miracles comes your way. So anyway, thank you for listening. Have the most magical day, and I'd love to know your thoughts, your theories, your own insights, and whether or not you are tracking your cycle as well. All the best, take care, look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye.